week 4, day 3, our recovery session. We've got a wonderful guest here, Jana from Athlete JOGA. She's worked with several athletes in all sorts of sports. I've worked with her for years when I was with the Warriors. She has kindly offered to do a recovery flow session from some of the work that she does. If you've not seen what she does, and you're an athlete who wants to integrate something like this, please check her out. We'll put her contact in it, her information in the notes below. But let's go through this. Let's have some fun. 45 minutes of work, and that'll be it.
Awesome. All right, Carl. So thank you for having me first and foremost. And I should just give a brief little introduction of like what it is that we're going to be doing and just some cues that are really important. So JOGA is a hybrid of biomechanics of sport with the yoga, breathing, and relaxation. So we've taken all the good things of yoga, but made it make sense for athletic training. That's why I'm here and doing this. But really important before we get started is just understanding the cues. And the goal today would be to really feel the cues in your body to really get that kinesthetic learning and that understanding throughout your kinetic chain. So we always start with a foot cue, and depending on what position we're in, that cue is going to change. And then we go through the 3 stabilization cues, which essentially are to lift your pelvic floor, draw your pubis bone in and your lower ribs in. So that's always going to create that pelvic lumbar stabilization. And then the last cue is about your breastbone. So I'm going to give you a cue to either lift your breastbone up if you're standing upwards. If we're in a prone position, like in a plank, it's going to be forward, just to always maintain that anatomical structure. So having the head on the cervical spine. And then the last cue is always going to be your hands. So we're working within that kinetic chain principle in every single position that we're going to do today. So we're going to take it slow, even though it's a flow, it's going to be slow flow. But the idea obviously is for you to feel something in your body, maybe something different, and to get that recovery that we all need. Cool?
That's beautiful. And I'll probably jump in to try to force myself some breaks and ask you some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
Let's just have some fun.
Okay, cool. So we're going to start with a breathing exercise just to balance the central nervous system. So go ahead. You're going to lie on your back, bend your knees just to take the pressure off the lower back. And then you're going to place your right hand onto your lower belly, and your left hand is going to come up onto your chest. And then we're going to start with a recovery breath. So take a deep inhale. You're going to breathe in through your nose. Hear that. And then I want you to take a big exhale through your mouth, make a ha sound, breathe out. Try to make your exhale longer than your inhale. And let's practice that one more time. So take a deep inhale, breathe in. And a really big ha sound, breathe out. Great. And now just your belly breath. So you're going to inhale into that right hand, sniff in for 1. Push your belly up towards the ceiling for 2. Take one more deep breath in, 3, a little hold. And then exhale, breathe out for 3, breathe out for 2, squeeze the navel in, create that abdominal pressure. And then we'll go one more time. So inhale into that lower belly, sniff in vigorously, 1. Move your lower belly for 2, take one more deep breath in, 3, pause, hold. And then exhale, breathe out for 3, breathe out for 2, breathe out for 1, squeeze your belly in. Now keep that abdominal pressure. We're going to move into that chest breath. So breathe, feel your rib cage move, front rib cage for 1, find that. Breathe into your side intercostals for 2, side ribs, and then right into your shoulder blades. Feel that against the floor, hold there, stay. And then exhale, breathe out through your mouth for 3. See if you could relax your jaw for 2 and 1. And then we'll do one more isolated chest breath. Again, breathe into your front rib cage, feel that, sniff in. Feel the sides of your ribs move 2. Continue breathing in through your nose, right between your shoulder blades, 3. Hold there. And then exhale again, breathe out for 3. Breathe out for 2. Breathe out for 1. And now we're going to go from belly to chest. So full diaphragmatic breathing. Let's start with that belly breath. Inhale, breathe into your stomach for 1. Breathe in for 2. Push your stomach out for 3. Pause. Now continue inhaling in through to your chest. Breathe into your front rib cage for 1. Breathe into your side ribs for 2. And then one more time right between the shoulder blades for 3. Hold there. Stay in that breath hold. Notice where your mind goes to in these pauses. And then consciously come back to the breath. Exhale, breathe out for 5. Relax your jaw for 4. Feel your ribs start to soften for 3. And then start to pull your belly button into your lower back. Empty your breath out. Feel your lower back push against the floor. Find that space of empty, hold. And then we're gonna switch it. So chest breath first. Inhale, front rib cage for 1, breathe there. Side ribs for 2, right under your armpits. And then shoulder blades for 3, hold. And now right into that lower belly, as low as you can, sniff in vigorously, 1. Push your stomach into your hand for 2. Take 1 more deep belly breath, 3, hold, stay a little longer this time. Notice where the mind goes to in these moments. And then the idea, consciously come back to your body, feel it, exhale, breathe out for 5. Relax the bones of your face for 4. Feel your throat start to soften for 3. Start to pull everything down and in 2. And now consciously squeeze your breath out like you're doing a crunch. Empty out the breath, hold there, stay. Great, and then take that deep recovery breath. So take a deep inhale, breathe in, just go for it. And a really big ha sound, breathe out. And then one more time, deep inhale, breathe in. And a big ha sound, breathe out. Awesome, all right, now just bring your hands down by your side. Right away, we're gonna find those kinetic chain points. So I just want you to push your feet down into the floor and feel that connectivity of femur bones into hip joints. And then push your hands down into the floor and feel how that connects to the shoulders. And now we're gonna use those first 2 cues. So you're gonna lift your pelvic floor, so like a Kegel, and then squeeze your pubic bone in. So squeeze your lower belly in, stabilize, and now hug your knees into the chest and give yourself a big squeeze. And then from here, just grab onto your knees, yeah, and just kind of rock from left to right. Notice how your lower back is feeling today. Notice how your hips feel today. And then the idea, again, just to rehearse this, is to always move from stability. So even those cues seem really small, the idea is to always find that place of stability and then create movement from there. So that's the goal today. And now bringing your feet down onto the floor, we're just going to roll to the right side. Just kind of cradle your head with your arm. Yeah, just roll to your right. You can just kind of lie down on your right side. Yeah, awesome. And then we'll come up into a quadruped position. So just up onto your hands and your knees. And the first thing we're going to do is some spine mobilizations. So right away, we're going to look at the joint stacks. You want your heel bones right behind your sits bones, middle of your butt cheeks, knee under hip joints, crease of the wrist below the heads of the shoulders. And then go ahead there, Carl, spread your fingers really, really wide. And then we're going to work through that spinal extension. So first, just dorsiflex flex your ankles, tuck your toes under, get that toe extension, lift your sits bones, lift your butt up, draw your chest forward. And then just start to, don't crank your neck back, rather just look back with your eyeballs and slightly pull your hands into your knees. This is going to be your position 1. Position 2, you're going to release the tops of your feet down onto the floor. You're going to come into spinal flexion. Again, try not to let your head collapse, but push your middle fingers forward. And then we'll go back into position 1. So tuck your toes, lift your butt, draw your chest forward, look up towards the camera, arch your back, and then look up with your eyes. And then exhale, come into spinal flexion, round through your spine, push the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. And then we'll do one more. So just tuck your toes, lift your butt up, draw your chest forward. That's it. Slide your hands to your knees, create that abdominal tension. And then nice, exhale, tops of the feet down onto the floor, round through your spine. And you're going to hold that spinal flexion. Now, just for a second, bring your brain into your toenails and just push your toes, the tops of your feet down into the floor, and drag your toes to your knees so you're not collapsed in your ankles. So it's just so you're not collapsing that ligament in the ankles. And then push your middle fingers forward here. And then take a deep inhale right into the scaps there, right into the shoulder blades. Open up that back body. Awesome. And then just come back into your neutral position. So looking forward towards me, tuck your toes under. And we're going to get those cues again to stabilize your lower back. So you're going to lift your pelvic floor, squeeze your pubis bone and your lower ribs in, and then float your knees up off the floor and just hold this position. This is going to be your position 1. Position 2, you're going to push into your feet, feel your quads activate. Leave your knees bent a lot. Keep your head up and come into this short downward dog. And now look at your hands. Feel your hands, pull forward, come back into position 1. And then again, feel your feet, feel your quads, keep your head up, lift your hips up and back into position 2. And then pull forward, come back into position 1, back into that knee hover. And then we'll do one more. Lift the hips up and back, pull forward, come back into your first position, hold here. And now we go through those 5 cues. So push the balls of your feet down into the floor, squeeze the pubis bone in the ribs and stay strong. Lift your breastbone forward, the head stays up, push your hands down into the floor. Now from that stable, strong position, you're gonna step back into a high plank position. Head, hips, and shoulders are gonna stay in one alignment. And now we're gonna mobilize your toes and your calves. So head stays lifted, you're just gonna come forward on the edges of your toes. And now push your heels straight back without lifting your bum, and push your middle fingers forward. And then we'll do that one more time. Come forward on your toes, push your heels back, push your middle fingers forward. Do you feel your calves there? Awesome. Okay, one more time. Come forward on your toes, push your heels back. Now bend your knees. That's going to get your core activated. Pull your hands and knees into one another. And then from here, with that much bend into the knees, come into a downward dog. Really important that we keep the knees bent so we can load the legs to take pressure off the shoulders. If your shoulders are screaming at you, widen your arms and turn your palms out slightly. And then from here, really activate the feet again. So push the fronts of your feet down into the floor. Feel that. And then stabilize your spine. Squeeze your pubis bone, your ribs in. Chest is forward. Spread the fingers really wide. Keep that spinal tension, and you're going to just walk your feet forward towards your hands. Lift your hands up off the floor and just come up to a standing position. Awesome. All right. Let's work through some hamstring mobilization. So bring your inner thighs, your knees together. Hands are going to come onto your quads. You can face me. I just turned sideways. Yeah. And then from here, you're going to shift forward onto the fronts of your feet. And then just push the fronts of your feet down into the floor. And then get that reciprocal inhibition. So push your hands and quads into one another. Draw the scabs down and back. And then tuck your ribs in. Create that stabilization. Good. Position 1. Position 2, weight into the heels, toes up. And just bounce on the joints here. So just kind of mobilize the knees, the ankles, and the hips. 3. Good. 2 and 1. Straighten the legs again. Little soft bend in the knees. Body weight shifts all the way forward into the fronts of your feet. A little bit of a hip hinge. And then activate from the feet. Push the fronts of your feet down. Feel your calves first. And then push your hands and quads into one another. Get your hamstrings. Nice. Now weight into the heels one more time. Just mobilize ankles and Achilles here. 3. Nice. 2 and 1. Now keep that low position. I'm going to turn to face you. You're going to open your palms towards me. And then you're going to find those cues again. So lift your pelvic floor. Pubis bone, ribs pull in. So we create that stabilization in the lower back. Breastbone up. Head over cervical spine. Go opposite of me. So come onto the toes of your left foot. Feel all 5 toes of your left foot. And then you're going to dorsiflex flex your left ankle joint. This is going to be your position 1. Slow and steady. You're going to extend both legs. That left leg's going to come back behind you, and you're going to come back into position 2, keeping the hips as square as you can. Awesome. And then exhale, you're going to bend both knees, tap the knees back together, come back to position 1. And then we'll do 2 more. So try to breathe here now. So inhale through your nose, come into position 2. Exhale, breathe out through your mouth. Feel the pubis bone in, activate your core, get that stability. Awesome, 1 more. Inhale, extend back, hold this position. Now again, look at or focus on your back ankle. Really dorsiflex that left ankle. That's going to help stabilize your pelvis. Now keep your left leg straight. We're going to slowly bend your right knee for 3. Bend your right knee only for 2, for 1. Stabilize that knee, and then a little faster twitch on the way up. Awesome. 2 more just like that. 3. Keep activating those hands. Good. 2. Stabilize. Hold in your lowest position. Stay. Inhale, spring up. 1 more, stay and hold. Awesome. 3. Bend that right knee for 2. Bend that right knee for 1. Hold here. 2 big hamstring curls with that left leg. 1, 2. Now draw your pubis bone back in. Squeeze your left glute to lift that heel. Get that little bit of hip extension. Step the feet, knees together. Shake it out. Woo!
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
So what did you feel in your body there, Carl?
I always demo on my left side because my right side has something there that I'm working through, but it felt great. I mean, sometimes slowing things down is very humbling. But I felt the glute, I felt everything kind of connecting together, which is the goal.
Awesome. Yeah. So with this one, yeah, hopefully the foot, the glute med, all those like stabilizers got activated. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, let's do some lateral flexion. So you're going to keep your legs together, circle your arms up overhead. Again, go opposite of me. So internally rotate your right shoulder. Grab your left wrist with your thumb and index finger. And now pull your left shoulder up. So really protract that left scap and then retract your right. And now go opposite of me, go up and over to the right. That's it. Good. Is that your left? There we go. Now push into both feet, come back up to center. I should just go the same way as you, but I want to make it more complicated. Go up and over to the right again, and then push into both feet, come up through center, and then up and over one more time and hold this position. Now breathe into that fascial chain on the left side. So sniff in, breathe into that whole left body. And then breathe out through your mouth and squeeze your adductors, inner thighs together. And then the actions mobility, you should feel like a little more range there. And then again, sniff in, breathe into that side body. Breathe out, pull your pubis bone ribs in, get a little more mobility. Now lift your breastbone. Now transfer the weight all the way to the lateral edge of that left heel. And then give me a little squeeze of that left glute. Nice. And then come through center, just give the shoulders a big shrug, shake that out. And then we'll do the lateral bend on the other side. So again, circle your arms up from your shoulder joint. Really internally rotate that left shoulder in the joint. And then grab your right wrist, lift that right shoulder up. I'll come low so people can see. Lift that shoulder up, and then you go up and over to the left this time. And then feel your feet, push into your feet, rebound back up to center. And then up and over. As you move, really anchor into the lateral edge of that right foot. Time under tension. And then one more time, rebound up. Nice, and then up and over, hold that position. Now inhale, breathe into that whole side body, breathe in. Breathe out, squeeze your adductors, get a little more range of motion. Breathe in, good, breathe out, pull the ribs in, push into the outside edge of your right heel, give me a little squeeze of that right glute. Nice, come through center, give the shoulders a shrug. Now we're prepared for rotation. So again, low body stability, so get as low as you can, toe extension here, so try to get your toes up, fingertips together, strong wrists, strong fingers, slide the thumbs down to your xiphoid there, below your collarbone or below your sternum. Get as low as you can into your knees and ankles. Again, stabilize, draw the pubis bone in, nothing moves in your hips, just your eyes are gonna go right, your head's gonna go right, and you're gonna rotate opposite of me, go right. Nice. And now sit a little lower in your legs, bring the weight into the heels, breathe in, breathe out, squeeze your inner thighs together, get a little more range of motion. Yeah, use your core and breath mechanics to create range. Again, sniff into your chest, breathe out, squeeze your belly in, pull the belly and get a little more range. One more time, breathe in, lift the collarbone, breathe out. Now peek past that right shoulder and see if the eyes can get you a little more range. Yes, nice, come back to me. Keep your legs, reach your arms forward. And then just dorsiflex flex your wrist joint. So just some wrist help here, spread the fingers really wide, and then just flick the hands down. And then flick the hands up, flick the hands down. Now flick your hands up whole, bring your weight into your heels, sit as low as you can like you're gonna fall backwards. 3, 2, 1, nice spring out of that, just take a forward fold. All right, inhale, transition is right into that hamstring mobility. So bring your body weight forward, get that hip hinge, hands and quads activate, weight into the heels, low squat, you can stay facing that way. Reach your hands down by the sides again, roll your shoulders back, pubis bone in, stabilize the pelvis, come onto the toes of your left foot again. And then dorsiflex, don't let your knee lift, isolate that left ankle movement, dorsiflex your left ankle. Now consciously push your right foot into the floor and lift your pelvic floor, connect those two mechanics, and then step back into a lunge position. That's it, good. Now from here, you're gonna bend your left knee as much as you can. So you're separating your toe joints from the metatarsal. And now I want you to lift your right heel and destabilize your right ankle. That's it. And now reach your arms up overhead. Pull your pubis bone and your ribs in, centralize your spine. Push your front foot forward and down, come all the way up, reach up, get those shoulders up. And then, like I said to the guys, like you're at the net, reach up, get that fascial tension. And then pull down and slowly now lower your hips, but focus on your left big toe, your back left big toe. Pause there, draw your pubis bone in, squeeze your left glute, feel that left hip. Now push your front foot down, come straight back up again, reach. Retract, good, low down, 3, 2, 1. Hold here, bring your arms down by your side. You're gonna tap your right heel 3 times. And now you're gonna push the center of your right heel down and forward, stabilize that knee, kick off your back toe, arms come down and back, eyes stay up. And then notice what happens here, pull your ribs in. Nice, keep that spinal tension, bend your left knee, push your right heel down and forward, reach your arms up overhead. And we'll do one more really slow, straighten that back leg, lean forward, arms all the way down and back, full range of motion, your shoulders here. Ribs in, retract your chin, eyes up. Bend your left knee, come on back up. Good, hold here, let's add the rotation. Bring your arms down like cactus arms, hold here. And now strong hips, imagine I'm like screwing your hip bones together. Pubis bone in, just T rotation. So again, eyes right, go opposite of me, head right, rotate right. Nice. Now kick off that back toe, straighten your back leg. That's going to produce a hip hinge. Keep your rotation and then reach your arms forward and back and get that range of motion from your scaps. Move your scaps off your spine. Nice. And now retract your scaps as you pull your thumbs back to your chest. Fingertips are touching. Feel all 10 fingers. Now go to your breath, breathe in. As you breathe out, focus on that front foot. Push that front foot down and forward. Feel that stability, and then that's going to create rotation. Rotate more to the right. And then peek past that right shoulder. Work for failure here. Nice. Now look back to me. Square off your shoulders. That's it. Reach your arms forward. Again, get that full range here. Reach, shoulders up. Left heel's pushing back. Ribs are in. Stable spine. Nice. And then bring your hands to the floor. Squeeze your pubis bone in, step to high plank, and we'll do the side plank. So take a deep, are we good to keep going? How are we doing?
Great.
So bring your legs together there, Carl. Squeeze your inner thighs. Watch me do one. You're going to roll out onto the outside of your left foot. Draw your right arm up like a bow and arrow. And then we progress from here. And we work the adductor in the lateral plane. So come from high plank. Really squeeze your legs together. Roll out onto the outside of your left foot. Draw your arm up like a bow and arrow. That's it. Now bend both knees, destabilize. Come onto the inner arch of that top foot. And then squeeze your adductors together. Make sure that top knee is bent. Now inhale, drive your left knee forward. And then exhale, come back, squeeze your inner thighs. Let's do one more. Inhale, knee drive forward. Exhale, squeeze the adductors, hold. Push into the inner arch of your right foot. Squeeze those knees together. That's it. Hold there. You got it. Now stack your feet. Look down. Just give that shoulder a little rotation as you bring your hands down to the floor. And now we'll do some fist push-ups just to build some strength into the hands. So make 2 fists. Strong, strong wrists and hands here. Option is just to stay here and hold. Next option, shift your body weight forward. Bend your elbows 30, 60, or 90. And then inhale, come straight back up. Nice. Exhale, bend your elbows 30, 60, or 90. Inhale, come straight back up. One more. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1 to come up. Awesome. Bring your hands flat to the floor. Watch the blood move to the joints. Take a deep inhale, exhale. And then we'll go through a core flow. So really important, you'll compress the back here. So shift forward onto the edge of the toes. Lift your hips above your shoulders just a little inch. And now bend your elbows just to 90. Stay on the feet and come into spinal extension from here. So your thighs and your hips are off the floor. Now push the floor forward. Come into high plank. And then bend your knees. Lift your butt. Come into a downward dog with really, really bent knees. The more bend in the knees, the better for the lower back. That's it. Bend your knees. Push the mat forward with your hands, backwards with your feet. Really create that traction for your spine here. This one's really good for the vertebra. Take a deep inhale, big exhale. And then just walk your feet forward. And we'll do everything on the other side. Always the other side.
I love that flow.
It's
Even
good.
Creating that,
Yeah.
creating that tension, that it's almost like even just by squeezing but not bracing, you're creating almost like a pseudo closed chain environment where you're creating that stability from your whole body, and then you're challenging with side flexion, with rotation, with balance. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome. Most importantly, how are you feeling?
I'm sweating. I'm going.
You. All right, let's do the other side. So we just always start with that transition from the hamstring mobility. So weight into the fronts of your feet. And again, make this functional by really activating the feet first. And then reciprocal inhibition. So quads and hands push into one another and then lean forward till you get that 6 out of 10 into the hammies. Nice. And now weight into the heels and then just mobilize the ankles, Achilles, knees here. 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs, shift forward, hip hinge, reciprocal inhibition, hammies. Nice. And now weight into the heels. 3, 2, 1. Hold your position. Knees are bent, arms open. Yeah, use that distal activation for proximal stability. So relax your hands for a second. This can be education for everyone watching. And then open your palms and spread your fingers and feel how that stabilizes. Yeah. Now come onto the toes of your right foot. So go opposite of me. And then doors, I flex that right ankle. And then push that left foot into the floor. Lift your pelvic floor. Tell your brain those two mechanics connect. And then as slow as you can, extend that right leg back. Try to keep your hips really still. And then exhale, bend both knees, tap the knees together, just reset the adductors. And then again, inhale, extend out, slow motor unit, slow, slow, slow. Exhale, bend both knees. Get a little more depth in that left knee, little transfer weight to your left heel there. Yeah, one more, inhale, hold here. Now really dorsiflex flex that right ankle, feel that stability. And now just relax your right ankle or your right foot off the ankle bone for a second and feel how the hip collapses and then activate. Keep that stabilization. Nice. Now slow and low. Let's bend that left knee, building stability around that knee. 3, 2, 1, stabilize, hold, inhale, come up. Don't hyperextend. Good. 2 more. Exhale, slow. 3. Notice the eyes. Stay calm. 2, 1. Inhale, come on up. Good. 1 more. Stay low and hold. 3, 2, 1. Hold here. 2 big hamstring curls with that right leg. 1, 2. Good. Pubis bone in. Squeeze your right glute. Get that last little bit of hip extension with your right leg. And then, yeah, and now step the feet together. Shake it out. Big inhale, exhale. All right, let's open that front body. So again, arms are up overhead. Little bend into the knees. Squeeze the inner thighs. Internally rotate both shoulders. You can stay facing that way. I just want to show the difference. So we're not going to hyperextend through joints here. I want elbows bent and then really a lot of grip onto the hands. So you're squeezing the knuckles together here. Yeah. And then we're just trying to really connect the hands here to the eyes. So again, pull the pubis bone ribs in, pull the chin back. This is just an eye exercise so the head doesn't move. The eyes are going to look up. And then exhale, you're going to track your eyes down, nose, chin, floor, stomach, squeeze the hands. And then again, track the eyes all the way up. And then track the eyes all the way down. And now track your eyes all the way up. Keep your eyes up. Breathe into your collarbone. Breathe in. Breathe out. Squeeze your inner thighs together and see how that gives you mobility in your pecs. And then one more time. Breathe in, right to the collarbone. And then breathe out. Pull the pubis bone, pull the lower ribs in. Lift the chest. And then bring your eyes forward. Shake it out. Relax the hands. Nice. Keep the knees together. And we'll move into that rotation on the other side. So weight into the heels. Strong wrist joints, strong hands here. Thumbs just to the bottom of the sternum. Hips stay square. Eyes first. So see if you can separate your eyeballs from your skull. Go opposite of me. So eyes go left. Feel that. And then the head. And then just the upper body rotates to the left. Yeah. And again, this is a huge differential from yoga, from JOGA, right? We're not going to use the elbow and try to torque the spine here. We're getting functional range of motion by using core. So keep your rotation. And now use this breath core cue mechanic to get more range. So take an inhale, breathe in, feel that in your ribs. Breathe out of your mouth, force the breath out of your mouth, squeeze your legs together, and you should feel a little mobility in your T-spine. And then we work through the cues. Breathe in again, breathe in, breathe out, pull your pubis bone ribs in. So essentially pull your lower belly and get, yeah, little small gains there. Lift the breastbone. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, peek past that left shoulder and see if that eye gaze will give you a little more range. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, look forward, come back to me. Keep your flexion in your knees and your ankles. Try to keep the legs burning here. Just adapting everything. Nothing's going to happen to you. It's recovery. Reach forward, pull back. I have to always remind people it's just recovery. Reach forward, reach, reach, reach. Pull back. Good. One more time. Really move the fascia here. Reach. And then pull back, hold this position, Spread the fingers, see your 180, sit as low as you can, toes up. 3, let your body remember it. 2, sit lower. 1, nice, spring out of that, forward fold. Right back into your hamstring transition, weight forward. Hands onto the quads, get that little bit of hip hinge. You might feel like you can go a little bit deeper now. And now weight into the heels, low squat. Reach the hands down by the sides, scaps back, stable pelvis. Come onto the toes of your right foot opposite of me again. Door as I flex your right ankle. And then just feel that stability in that left side. From that stability, step back into your reverse lunge. Nice. And now bend your right knee a lot. So you're separating, you're trying to get that toe extension in your back foot. And then lift your left heel. So the foot has to really work here to stabilize. And now reach your arms up overhead. I'll go profile. Good. Now from here, push that front foot forward and down. Feel the insertion. And then come straight up, reach. And then as you come down, you're going to focus on your right big toe, pull your pubic bone ribs in, squeeze your right glute, get that hip extension right side. Now push your left foot down and forward, come all the way up. Reach, get that shoulder movement, retract, load down 3. You're going to hold here 2, 1, pubic bone and squeeze your right glute again. Nice. Now keep that stabilization, bring your hands down by your sides. Tap that left heel, 3, 2, 1, leave the center of your heel down and forward. Really feel that knee stabilize. Left knee, hip, and ankle don't move. We're just disassociating right, left hip. Straighten that back leg. Lean forward. Full range in the shoulders. Yeah, eyes up. Now bend your right knee. Break it down. Push that left foot down and forward. Feel the stability. Come on up. Reach your arms up overhead. 1 more really slow. Straighten that back leg. Arms all the way down and back. Bend your right knee. Push that left foot down. Stay strong here. Nice, last plane of movement, rotation. Bring your arms out. Pull the pubis bone in, strong hips. Eyes left, head left, move on the axis of the spine, rotate left. Nice, now kick off that back toe, straighten your right leg. That's gonna produce your hip hinge. Now reach your arms forward and back. That's it, spread the fingers, move the scaps, get that little bit of reach here. And now pull your thumbs back to the chest, intentionally feel your fingers. Good, bring your brain into your front foot. Take an inhale. Consciously push that front foot down and forward. Feel that stability, and then that's going to create more rotation. Yeah, peek past that shoulder, get 1 more inch. Awesome. Look back, forward, eyes first, head, and then reach forward. Get that line, push your right heel straight back, get that calf. Awesome. Hands to floor, pubis bone in. So even here, stabilize, and then step back to high plank. Stay in control of your body. Take an inhale, big exhale. Side plank on the other side. So the option is just to stay here with the feet together and squeeze your legs together. If when you move, your head falls off your spine, I know that that means that there's somewhere in the body that's exposed that we're not quite ready to move to that plane of movement. So work for accuracy here. When you're ready, roll onto the outside of that right foot, draw that left arm up like a bow and arrow and hit your side plank. If the hips, head, and shoulders are in one alignment, bend both knees, come onto the inner arch of your top foot. And now squeeze your adductors together here. And then inhale, drive that right knee forward. Exhale, bring that knee back, squeeze your inner thighs together. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, come forward with the knee. And then exhale, come back, hold your position. Good, stack the feet. Look down, move that shoulder, and then come back into a high plank position. Nice, and then you can bring your knees to the floor. We just do fingertip push-ups here in between. Again, really focusing on strong hand joint. So the option is just to hold here. The next option is to lift the knees. If you're hypermobile, just do fist push-ups. And then if you want to add the next step, we do a little push-up. So shift forward, bend the elbows 30, 60, or 90. Inhale, come on up. Good. What's that?
I don't have that.
Yeah, 1 more.
From the knees then?
Yeah, let's do from the knees.
You just did it from your hands?
What's that?
You did it from your hands?
From your fingertips, yeah.
Do that again so everybody can see it.
Oh, like I can do it from here, yeah.
I'm blast here. That's good though. That's
Thank
awesome.
I've been working on it a little bit, like 17 years.
Very impressive.
All right, let's do a flow. So come into high plank. So again, we want no compression in the lower back, right? So shift forward, stay in control. Lift your heavy pelvis 1 inch. Keep your elbows tucked in like a tricep push-up. Just bend the elbow or to 90 degrees. And then come into your spinal extension from here. And don't crank your neck back. Keep your eyes forward. Now push your hands forward, come to high plank. Bend your knees, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale, big exhale, Hasana. Big inhale, big exhale. All right, now we're gonna flow this all together. So now we lock in the neural patterns. It moves quicker. Walk the feet forward, 1 or 2 breaths per movement. Just reminding the body of everything we just did. This is how we remember it. So bring your body weight into that hamstring transition. Weight forward, hip hinge. Weight into the heels, low squat. Reach the arms up overhead. Pull the thumbs down to the chest. Sit as low as you can, toes up. Eyes right, head right, go opposite of me, rotate right. Take an inhale, breathe in. Squeeze your legs together, get more range of motion. Look back to center. Get as low as you can, 3. Square off 2, get those ankles. 1, swing out of that, forward fold. Inhale, look forward, head up, weight forward. Weight into heels, low squat. Reach, retract. Come onto the toes of your left foot. Dorsiflex flex your left ankle. Step straight back into a lunge position. Bend your left knee. Push your right heel down. Reach the arms up overhead. Pull the thumbs down to the chest. Push off your back toe. Pubis bone in, strong hips, eyes right, head right, rotate right. Breathe in, push your front foot down, rotate more. Look back to center, square up, reach your arms forward, push that left heel back. Hands to floor, step to plank. And then today we'll just bend the knees, lift the butt up, come into downward dog. Take a deep inhale, big Hasana exhale. Step the right foot forward. You're gonna keep your right knee bent, pick your left leg and your arms up. Big position for stabilization, hold here. You got it. Inhale, spring up. Exhale, lower down, 3. Lower down, 2, focus on your back foot. Good, hamstring curl your left leg. Pubis bone in, squeeze the glute, get that hip extension. Step the feet, knees together, circle up, other side. Take a recovery breath, big inhale, big exhale. Good, big inhale. Big exhale, thumbs to chest, butt back, toes up, full toe extension here. Pubis bone in, stable hips, eyes left, head left, go opposite of me, rotate left. Now use your breath, breathe in, breathe out, squeeze your legs, get more rotation. Nice, look back to me, square up, reach your arms forward, toes up, sit as low as you can, full ankles and knees, 3, 2, 1, nice, spring out of that forward fold. Inhale, hamstring extension, come all the way forward. Weight into heels, low squat. Reach, retract, come onto the toes of your right foot. Dorsiflex flex your right ankle, step back into lunge. Bend your right knee, push your left foot down, reach your arms up. Pull the thumbs down to the chest. Push off your back toe, strong hands, strong hips, eyes left, head left, go left. Yeah, there you go, breathe in, push that front foot down, rotate more. Look center, move center, reach. Push that right heel straight back. Get that fascial tension. Nice. Hands to floor. Step to plank. Bend your knees, downward dog. Take a deep inhale. Here's your recovery breath. Big Hasana, let it go. And then step that left foot forward. Don't force it, just wherever the hip takes it. Step that left leg forward. Good. Now keep the knee bent. This is a huge benchmark for knee stabilization. Pick your right leg and your arms up. Hold here. Nice. Now inhale, straighten that left leg. And then slowly lower, 3, 2, 1, ribs in, centralize. Hamstring curl your right leg. Squeeze your glute, get that heel up. Nice, step the feet, knees together, circle up. Big inhale, big exhale, recover, let it go. Big inhale, and now just take a forward fold. Excuse me, take an inhale here, bigger exhale. And then we'll do this last little bit of spinal, excuse me, move into hamstring mobility again. So bring your body weight forward. Last cue here for the hamstrings. So shift forward onto the fronts of your feet. Roll your shoulders back. Get that nice posture. Lift your heels as high as you can. And then push into the fronts of your feet. Push your hands and quads into one another. And now the last cue to get that deep neural tension, I want you to think of your sits bones, the middle of your butt cheeks lifting up to the ceiling. but simultaneously without your heels coming down to the floor, imagine your heels coming to the floor. Do you feel that? And push your hands and quads into one another. Nice. Now bring your weight into your heels. Come to a low squat. Come to high plank. And now we finish with fire breathing. This is just for lymphatic system for recovery. So it's 30 exhales. You're snapping your belly. So let's go from high plank. Take an inhale. And we're doing 30 exhales in a row. Take a deep inhale, breathe in. Big exhale, breathe out. One last core flow. Shift forward, butt up, chest halfway down. Inhale into your spinal extension, upward dog. Yeah, there you go. And exhale, push back to plank. Bend your knees, come into a downward dog. Once you're in your downward dog, take a deep inhale, big recovery breath, ha sound. One more time, take that deep inhale, big ha sound, breathe out. Perfect. And then from here, child's pose, but no pressure on the knees or the hips or the butt. So leave your butt up, or your ankles, sorry. Bring your head to two stack fists, and then just rock your forehead from left to right. And just give yourself a big recovery breath there. I gotta take a drink of water. All right, sorry about that. I needed water. Talking. Okay, come on to your butt, and we'll just end with some hip swings. All right, how are we doing?
Amazing.
So you should, it's called the fire starter because it should create like heat from the inside.
It makes perfect sense. Absolutely. Feel great.
Are you sweating? Okay.
But a little bit, but I feel good.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one, and then I'll just come coach you. So we start with full knee flexion, and then you're going to heel toe your feet out. I'll give you some cues, but essentially we're coming into this type of movement. Okay. All right, so come to lie on your back. Yeah, and then start with full knee flexion for me, Carl, just so I can see your knee flexion. Yeah, and then heel toe it as wide as you can, and then once you think you've hit full range, go one more time. Perfect. All right, now push your left foot down into the floor, and I want you to feel that femur bone lock into the hip. Good. Now let your right knee come down and in. So internally rotate that right femur bone. Feel that. Get into your body. Let the right knee come all the way down and in. And then once you've hit full range, leave it there. Like leave your right knee down and in. Push into the medial arch of that right foot so your adductors activated. Pick up your left ankle like you're going to cross your legs and pick that left ankle up and over that right knee. Dorsiflex flex your left ankle. And now let gravity pull that knee forward and down. And then you're going to play with the pressure of your right foot. So first you're going to push into the inside of your right heel. And then I want you to think of your right big toe pushing forward and down. And then tell me what feels better on your right hip.
For me, it doesn't make a big difference.
It doesn't? Okay. As long as there's some pressure there. Yeah, we want to keep it active. And you should all just feel this on the right side of your hip, like TFL.
Yeah.
Quad. Okay. And now we go into the breath work. So take a deep inhale, breathe into that right side collarbone, breathe in 1, sniff in through your nose for 2, take one more deep breath in there, 3. And then I want you to blow the breath out of your mouth. Squeeze the navel in and almost think of dragging the skin of your quad forward and down.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll do one more. So inhale, breathe in 1, all the way up 2, breathe in 3, hold, and then exhale, breathe out. Nice, and then just push the ankle against the knee, come back up through center. Yeah, and then just uncross your legs, readjust your hips and shoulders. And then we'll do the other side. So Start with the heels as close to the butt as you can. And then widen your feet. Nice. Now push that right foot down into the floor. Feel the femur bone move in the hip joint. Let your left knee come down and in, and just kind of feel how that feels in your hip today. Yeah. And then make sure you work from activation. So push into the inner arch of that left foot this time. Pick up your right ankle, cross it up and over your left knee. Nice. And then let gravity pull that knee down, but make sure there's pressure on that left foot. And then each hip is different, as you know. So just try it on this side. Push the left big toe forward and down. And then push into the inner side of that left heel. And just notice if there's a difference in your hip. And then we'll go into the breath. So breathe in 1, breathe in 2, breathe in 3, a little hold, and then breathe out. Awesome. Let's do one more. Breathe in 1, breathe in 2, all the way, breathe in 3, a little hold. And then force the breath out of your mouth and your belly simultaneously. Drag the skin of that quad forward and down. And then just for checks and measures, show me with your left hand where you feel this in your body. Perfect. Awesome. And then just push the ankle against the knee. Come up through center. And then just uncross your legs. Take a deep recovery breath here. Just take a deep inhale, breathe in. Big ha sound, breathe out. And now bring your hands back onto your lower belly. And we're just going to calm the nervous system with some belly breathing, and we'll end here. So we're going to try for counts of 3, end up with 6. So we'll start with 3 and see how we go. So lower belly breath only. Try not to move your chest so we get into that relaxation mode. So inhale into the lower belly for 1. Breathe in for 2. Breathe in for 3. A little pause. And then exhale, breathe out for 3. Breathe out for 2. Squeeze your belly in for 1. Let's move to 4. Inhale, breathe in 1. Breathe in 2, 3, 4. Good. Breathe out 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go 5. Inhale, breathe in, low belly breath 1. Breathe in through the nose 2. Feel that 3. Hear it in your nostrils 4. Stay with your breath 5. Notice where your mind skips to. Come back to the body. Exhale, breathe out 5. Relax your jaw 4. Soften the face 3. Start to squeeze your belly in 2, and then empty your breath completely 1. And let's do 1 round of 6. So inhale, breathe in, low belly breath 1. Sniff in through your nose 2. Hear the breath come in through your nostrils 3, 4, 5, all the way full belly breath 6. And then exhale, breathe out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, squeeze the breath out 1. And then just take that deep recovery breath. So inhale in through your nose. And then for faster recovery, you want to think of a ha sound, breathing, exhale longer than your inhale. So breathe out longer. So try an inhale for 3 and an exhale for 6. 1 more deep recovery breath. Deep inhale, breathe in. Big exhale, breathe out. And then at the bottom of that breath, again, just hug your knees into the chest, kind of finishing the same way we started. Move left to right. Again, notice after you do this kind of work how you feel in your body and in your mind. And then again, just bring your feet down to the floor. And you can just roll to the right side again, like you're going to go to sleep. Like just kind of cradle your head in your arm. And just kind of set yourself an intention, something super positive for the rest of your day today. Give yourself a big notion of gratitude just for having the ability to show up today. And then we'll just come into a seated position, however is comfortable on your hips. And I will say namaste. We did it.
That was fantastic. First of all, thank you. Even just hang on for 1 sec. I wanted to ask you a bunch of things before, but I wanted to just dive into it as well.
Yeah, let's go.
That was fantastic. And there's a couple of things I want to touch on. I want you to elaborate a little bit on the difference between, you talked about it a little bit earlier, but how your practice kind of integrates multiple areas. And, that's the first thing I want to ask. And then I want to follow up and kind of talk about how, people that think yoga, they think yoga. People think strength work, they think strength work. But I also want to talk about how this type of work can be integrated, whether it's a recovery day, a training day, a game day,
Yeah.
and very high level, 2-3 minutes on how that type of stimulus might change.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the differentials first?
Yeah, just like not an elevator pitch, but
Yeah.
like,
Just
yoga,
what?
but this is a unique system. So just speak
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. So, and it's good timing because I actually went to a yoga class last night and I'm just like, I want to really like yoga and I haven't been for 15 years. And I went and the reason I created yoga was because of the exact same experience I had last night. I have a really I've been playing sports my whole life. And so I have tight hips, tight hamstrings. And so when I go to yoga, the positions they don't make sense for like the biomechanics, like how my body structure is. And also because I'm an athlete and I'm competitive, I try to do, what I'm told to be doing because I'm used to being coached my whole life. And so that was like the original, motivation for creating a program, because for me as an athlete at the time, the breath work and the meditation was really interesting for me. Like I had never been taught anything like that, but the parts of yoga that were horrible were just the actual postures and positions, because it wasn't designed for athletes moving at high speeds. Like the original purpose of yoga was to be very limber, to sit in contemplation and meditate for like 24 hours. Like that's like the true purpose of yoga, right? And so there's all these athletes that are, climatized to do yoga. And I'm just like, what is safe practice? And really the goal with yoga is creating this program that's cohesive to everything that's in that ecosystem of sport in terms of strength and conditioning, rehab protocols, skills and drills. So it all makes sense together rather than something that's completely foreign to the athlete's body, right? So I always say, like, my son plays hockey, and he's been creating these neuromuscular patterns since he was 4 years old. He's 16. So for 12 years, he's been creating these neuromuscular patterns for hockey, right? And then what happens, say at 18, he's at college and some coach says, oh, I've heard athletes are doing yoga, just go down. You know what I mean? They're just going to hit whatever yoga class. And it's not any fault to yoga and the yoga industry at all. It's just that yoga teachers aren't trained specifically for athletic conditioning, right? And so it's a whole different like mindset. It's a whole different perspective. So now Will's 18, he goes to like what I did, a hot yoga class. He does, these positions that are unfamiliar for his body. He's an athlete, so he's going to try to do them because he's used to being coached, so he's going to do what he's been told. And then he comes out and he gets on the ice the next day and he feels flat. And I always say it's like stretching an elastic band, right? You lose that pliability and elasticity over. So it's really understanding the difference between flexibility and like functional mobility and how we create that functional range of motion. And so really, I think with yoga, and I mean, obviously, the original intent was just to create a safe practice for tight bodies. And then as I started to work in football and hockey and basketball, I started to understand that there was biomechanic pieces required for those sports positions and or the movements themselves. And then I started to have conversations with people like you who are like, hey, like I have this injury and I'm trying to do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, okay, so how could we make this program fit into a back to play strategy? And then with strength and conditioning, if I can get an athlete to get more mobile hips, and a strength coach can load their athlete with more weight because they can produce a proper hip hinge and get more hamstring mobility, then everybody wins, right? And so really what this program does, it kind of glues all of those pieces together in terms of strength and conditioning, rehab, skills and drills. And we're just doing all the little things that, to be quite honest, nobody else has time to coach it. And, in that sporting environment, like you don't have like hours to coach foot mechanics and hand mechanics and breath mechanics. And like everyone knows it's important, but at the end of the day, it's like this happened to be like something that I just innately understood and kind of went with it because I needed it for my own body. And now 17 years later, I've been able to source information from other people. And the program, what we did today, has not changed in 17 years because movement is movement, right? Like there's 3 planes of movement. It is what it is. But I think what makes it special is that I get all these other brains behind the program and I get athletes doing it. And I'm always learning, like I'm a continuum of learners. So I'm like, what can I learn from your body today? What can I learn from the next strength and conditioning coach I'm working with? to make the program better. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. That's such a great way to explain it, and why it's unique. And I feel great from there. And like, we could talk for a very long time, and maybe we'll have a follow-up for sure. But the
Got to
last
do the next level.
exactly, it's, just 1 or 2 minutes, but we did this for this session. I know because we've done it together. You've used this for athletes pre-game, like in the morning before a game, or as an adaptive response where it's really challenging and you're trying to create an adaptation, or you've done a session like this which was still challenging, but it was more of a recovery emphasis.
Right.
Performance is not just put your head down and go. There's 4 core pillars to performance, whether it's physical, it's mental, technical, tactical, but there's always different things that you can do depending on the purpose of that day, and the intention of that session. So very quickly, if you can articulate how this practice may vary depending on the purpose at the highest level, and then we'll leave it from here, and we'll double back up in the next little while, because this was fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, it's always about just meeting the athlete where they're at too for these first couple sessions, because as you know, just even getting an athlete to stand on one foot at the beginning is challenging. And so as that athlete becomes climatized to the program, that answer kind of changes, right? But of course, like today, because you have great body awareness, like this would feel like recovery for you, but this exact same program would feel like a workout, you know what I mean, for somebody else. It could be a full workout day, right? So it kind of depends on where the athlete is at in terms of like how they move their body and their kinesthetic understanding. And as that athlete adapts to the program, it can be activation because they know their body, their neuromuscular system has adapted to it. And that's why, like somebody, with Kavan, we can use this as game day activation because he's done like 400 sessions. You know what I mean? And he can use this as a prep for his game day because he knows what's coming, and it's more just like mind, body all put together. But somebody who's brand new, this would, feel like a workout, right? And then based on like, and the program, how we make it recovery or activation or workout, all is based on time under tension, like how many reps we're doing, like same as training, right? You just change the amount of reps and the pace, and you get a different thing. So,
and we can go into this, but even the breath work, using breath to either down regulate or up regulate, increase heat, we can get into that. That's a whole nother ballgame. This is fantastic. Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you so much.
I love this. I'm going to fly tomorrow. So thank
Yeah.
you. And
Okay.